Good day everyone and welcome to Exile News, the weekly show that brings you all the important news and informations on Path of Exile. Starting the weeks with the highlights from the Hideout competition, which by the way is still going for a couple more days, so if you're planning on going and entering the competition, be sure to do that within the time, of course. But we can see a couple of examples. There's Malachi Lost Lab, there's Path of Destruction. Of course you can click on the spoilers and see all of the images, but yeah, we're not gonna do that. We're gonna just check it fast. For example, Cathedral of Lost Hope. I really like this image. It really fits on Path of Exile theme. And then Purgatory. We got Piety's Failed Home Invasion. Wow, that looks like a mess. It still looks really good though. Rationalist Steam Base. Okay, and Infernal Dungeon. Of course, dungeons are the most common theme, I'm gonna guess. Fire and dungeons. Temple of the Pagan God. This image also looks really good, especially with the character right here looking like a demon. And Behind the Magical Forest, with a very interesting image, totally different from what you'll normally see in Path of Exile, but who knows, maybe it fits really well. But anyway, we also got a development manifesto for the Warbands and Tempest content. So basically, Warbands will not be a permanently on feature on Path of Exile. This was, I think, pretty obvious. However, GGG is planning to use Warbands for a couple other things. For example, they plan to add a unique strongbox that spawn Warbands members. Of course, the chance of getting a unique out of those, unless they always spawn a leader, it's going to be really low. But yeah, they're also considering map mods as another possibility to add warbands to the normal game. And strange, but they're also considering having a warbands week for standards and hardcore in the future. I don't know how this would work out. I don't think it's that great of an idea, but yeah, maybe standard and hardcore players would enjoy it, so we'll see about that. Of course, warbands will be available through Zana. Tempest also will not be a regular Path of Exile experience. Of course, it's a bit too tiring to have Tempest always on, so however, GGG is thinking of it especially for races, so there will probably be some race having a constant Tempest on. Tempest, of course, will be available through Zana, and there will not be a Tempest week, because it's gonna be too overwhelming for mandatory content. As for unique items, you will be able to drop them, of course, when doing a Zana Warbands or a Zana Tempest map. However, Warbands uniques will be able to be obtained through Warbands member if they are going to spawn through Strongbox, or there's going to be this Warbands week or whatever. So next is build of the week, and this time it's a triple freezing pulse totem build. So using Soul Mantle, you can have 3 totems. Of course, when one of these dies, you will get a curse on yourself, so you will need a lot of curse removal flasks. But yeah, it uses freeze pulse, a single freeze pulse, and it shatters and it freezes a lot, so it's actually somewhat safe even though you get a lot of curses on yourself, and it's definitely not a one button build. So if you like this playstyle where you actually have to do a lot of things at the same time, yeah, this might be the build for you. Also, while it might not seem that safe, the owner of the build reached level 91 in the Tempest League, so it is actually pretty safe if you are actually good at the game. So yeah, there we go, nice build of the week right there. But then we got a development manifesto about map changes that are coming for this week's patch, or rather next week's patch, which will be right before the 1 month event starts. So basically, after all the feedbacks the player gave and all the data GGG got from these past leagues, it seems that the map drops were slightly lower than what GGG was happy with. So the rate of map drops will be increased a little bit, but there's some more important changes that's coming along with it. So, for example, for the lowest and mid-tier level maps, the spikes of physical damage are going to be removed. Not really removed, but just toned down a little bit, because also in Act 4 sometimes there were some really high spikes of damage which weren't really fitting in the difficulty. So that's one thing. Another thing is going to be map colors. As you can see, there's white, yellow and red. This is to indicate the low, medium and high tier groups of maps, which are also part of what mods you can get. So low tier maps can get, you know, this kind of mods difference that they made some time ago. For example, low maps can get like 40% status ailment evasion. Mid-tier map gets like 60-80 I think, and high-tier map gets complete immunity. So it's this kind of thing, and now thanks to these colors you will be able to instantly see in your stash tabs and instantly realize, if you're a newer player, that these maps are harder than the previous ones. So good change right there. It's a very good change, and also probably the best change that's happened in a long time. Map levels have now been replaced with map tiers. So a level 68 map, which was the first map, right, it's gonna be a tier 1 map. A level 82 map is going to be a tier 15. So a problem with maps has always been the fact that you saw like level 72 map and you were like level 88 and you thought, why am I stuck doing level 72 maps? So you were basically seeing maps as something you should have run at your own level. However, it's never been the case. So actually removing level and putting tiers, it's really good, because it's going to give the players a different feel. Like you're doing tier 1 map, you're doing tier 2, you will feel like progressing through the maps while progressing through the tiers, but you will not feel tired down too much by the experience and by the fact that you're running a much lower level map than your character is. So this is really good change, I think. In my opinion, this is really good, and it's going to be it's going to take a little thing to understand which tier is what. So for example, for the recipe, like 75 plus recipe for the regal orb, but yeah. And also they changed a little bit of experience in maps. For the higher level maps, it's going to be a little less important to run like an 82 map rather than an 80. However, the experience it takes to reach level 100 from 99, it's now approximately twice as much, or rather it takes twice as long. So yeah, apparently GG was able to change the experience needed to reach level 100 without hindering players leveling from like 1 to 90. So that's another good change, where we will see how that goes, especially with the race with the 1 month. Many players are expected to hit the 100, so we'll see about that. And last very important change is the ground effects in maps now use a lot less resources, and also a lot less server resources. So basically it's gonna be less impairing on your computer, while being less of a problem for example, the bandwidth. So if you're lockstepping, you will not stutter around. And yeah, there has been many problems with the ground effects. Now it's probably fixed. Well, I won't say fixed, but it's definitely reduced. So it's another good part. Really good update that's coming up. So hopefully very soon. It's gonna be next week, probably sooner than later. And last, we got the full details on the 1 month flashback event. So here in the community, GGG has changed the starting date of the 1 month. It's now on Friday. October 2nd, so it's on the evening if you are in Europe, it's on the afternoon if you are in America, it's really early in the next day if you are in New Zealand, so that's pretty much where it starts. We already know about the mods. A different is the challenges, so the previous 1 month league had 4 challenges, each one granting a part of the Seraph set. This time you have 20 challenges, and every 5 you complete you get 1 piece, so it's pretty much the same. However, there's more challenges and it will absolutely require you to play a lot more. I think, for example, kill a rare monster within their treasure. I mean, yeah, there's going to be Nemesis days, Nemesis weeks, but inner treasure is still pretty rare, you might just not find it. Touch a divine shrine, this is going to be a hell of a challenge. You'll probably want to get in touch with other players for this. But yeah, I mean, it's going to be pretty interesting. Of course, if you want to play, there's going to be a lot of stuff to do. Reach level 85, and that's reach the 5th Rampage tier, so be sure to not choose a build that cannot do that, or that's really slow in clearing if you want to complete all these challenges. Last, we got the prizes for this race. So the first players by experience, or the first to reach 100, will receive an Alienware Alpha. So GGG is continuing their partnership with Alienware, which is really interesting. 1 random player in each event will receive an Alienware backpack. You just need to reach level 50 and you will eligible for the prize. Of course, completing challenges, and then there will be 100 random players receiving stash bundles, 50 random players receiving premium stash bundles, and of course the top 20 players will receive an alternate art Demigod's Beacon. So what's Beacon? Not sure about that, but yeah, of course, really good stuff going on. It's gonna be one hell of a 1 month. It's gonna be packed with action. That's gonna be really interesting. So that was all for this week. If you enjoyed the video, leave a like and a comment down below. Also, if you want to remain updated every week, be sure to subscribe to my channel. So that was all. I've been your host, Giorgio, and I'll see you guys the next time.